APC Yoruba candidates want to reap without sowing. Welcome to the news and thank you for tuning in to listen. Buhari, Tinubu, Osibanjo, Amechi in battle for anointing. And what a story! Mentioned also in addition to the national leader and vice president among those waiting for their master. Thank God I do not have a master from Dora. God is enough for me to decide where Fayemi and Fashola, the outgoing governor of Ekiti State, almost totally overrun by herdsmen, and Fashola, former governor of Lagos State and federal minister of works and housing. This is a power-packed article. I am not going to spill the beans at all. Let's find out more. The news in detail, please stay with us. In many ways, each of them is worthy of consideration by the Yoruba people. But each time I meet a Yoruba person, female, male, young or old, and the question is asked, what do you think the Yoruba people gained from being in the APC? The answer is invariably is nothing. But when another question is asked, what have we lost? The common lamentation is about the loss of our lands to Fulani people, why nobody is fighting for us. In that regard, none of our leaders is spared from condemnation. Furthermore, I am yet to meet a Yoruba person who benefited from the federal government without being related to a top party leader. The sense of abandonment, use and discard is so pervasive that I sometimes wish the candidates were there when the people they claim to lead talk about them. It will certainly deflate a lot of egos about their popularity among the people. Permit me to provide 2 examples out of the dozens to illustrate the problem. VAT collection litigation. Courage, especially in political leaders, is the greatest of all human attributes. Ernest Hemingway, 1898 to 1961. Yoruba have always fought for the true federalism or derivation, but the military has saddled us with a unitary constitution. The value-added tax, VAT, is the best illustration of how much we have been losing and continue to lose under the present arrangement. The Southwest contributes at least 60% of VAT revenue, but received in return less than 20%. No zone and its political leaders have more interest in getting a better deal than Yoruba land. Obong Victor Atta, leading less than a dozen politicians in the South increased the derivation from 1% to 13%. He was not the vice president, party leader, and the speaker was not from Akwa Ibom. But see what they got when one leader stacked everything for his people. Incidentally, Atta was a member of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) when he was fighting for justice. By contrast, since 2015, none of the Yoruba APC leaders has ever spoken about VAT injustice. Our state, particularly Lagos, are being forced to go into debt while surrendering billions every month to others. No presidential candidate had the balls to see enough. Instead, it has been governors of Wiki to lead the charge, only for us to timidly follow. It is quite possible that our leaders will withdraw from the case if asked to do so by Buhari. The question might as well be asked, then exactly what the Yoruba people become so enslaved that the leaders have been subjugated the vital interests of the Southwest to a god created by politicians desperate to be president? The deepening economic quagmire. The IMF had on Monday, February 6, 2022, predicted that the Nigerian debt service to revenue ratio would jump from 92% in 2022 from 76% in 2021. News reports Sunday, February 13, 2022. In my nearly 30 years of writing for Vanguard, first on the business pages on Monday, I cannot remember a single year when the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund (IMF) have had to raise alarm concerning the Nigerian economy as in the last 6 months. Additionally, other financial institutions have joined in the outcry. The comments quoted above paint a true picture of an economy in which fiscal and monetary policies have gone out of control. One financial expert, Mr. Aliyu Elias, who commented on the unfolding calamity, had this to say: the consequences will be larger infrastructural deficits. It will also deepen poverty. And forex will be a problem because we will have to go cap in hand to borrow again. The man only told us half the tragedies awaiting for us this year alone. and we still have 5 more months of Buhari administration to endure in 2023. Bluntly stated, what the IMF is forecasting for Nigeria amounts to this. Almost the entire revenue generated by the federal government will eventually go to paying debt. As a result, the federal government will therefore go out every month to borrow to pay salaries, meet overhead expenses, fight insecurity, feed school children, buy child meant for Chinese debt collectors, and pay for Buhari's next visit to London for medical checkup. This is the government of the ruling or progressive Congress to which the leaders belong to. I state without fear of contradiction that if they are not leading members of that party, they would have been the loudest in condemning it. By any measure known to people who have not taken leave of their senses, this is a colossal failure led by Buhari. It therefore beats my imagination why anybody who means well for Nigeria will be seeking that man's endorsements. Birds of the same feathers flock together. Successful performers seek their claim of other top performance. Only those who cannot or refuse to see a loser will pretend that all is well and want his blessing, or because they want to be president. With regard to the economic predicament in which we find ourselves, each of the aspirants can either claim to know that you are on the brink of monumental catastrophe or not. Anyone admitting ignorance of a situation should suspend the campaign for presidency now, go and assemble a team of economic and financial experts for a tutorial before rejoining the race. It is neither in our collective interest nor his to reach office on May 29, 2023 and collapse. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr., 1929 to 1968. The one who knows we are in serious but who adopts the see nothing, hear nothing, and say nothing attitude is even worse. He is a living corpse seeking to take the rest of the country down with him. He might be laboring under the illusion that he will straighten things out after reaching Aso Rock. He should look around ECOWAS. The economy might have deteriorated so badly between now and Inauguration Day that all he will receive is a kick in the backside from a recruit in uniform. To me, it is doubtful that Yoruba people are so desperate for presidency as to allow those without guts to beg their way into Aso Rock as a gift from Buhari for 8 years of atrocious government. Buhari will prefer continuity. It requires wisdom to understand wisdom. Let us ask ourselves the question, who can Buhari choose if he is left to the side? The obvious answer is somebody like himself mentally. He wants continuity as a means of proving himself right with his destructive decisions. He believes in borrow and spend approach to economic management. He has 2 terrible apostles among the list. If Baba Awolowo had believed in borrow and spend, Nigeria could not have fought a war for 3 years without borrowing. I told you this article was a bomb. They have told the people a bit of it. The left for you is to decide. The electorate, choose wisely. On this note, we have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of the day.